Yo, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What we got going on here? Untamed Kango, my apps. Yes, sir. All right, hold on. Let me bring this music down. That wasn't what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. All right. Hold on. Let me pull out my bag of goodies. Let's get all. Oh, damn it. Let me get all set up as much as I can. Oh, I hope everybody's doing okay this evening. And once again, welcome to the show. My name is Mike Reed. I am a commercial appliance technician. Been in the business since 1992, before the EPA cert was a thing. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see. Let's show you. 1996. Let me see here. I think the EPA cert. Yes. So as you can see here, I was doing a broadcast and a question came up about EPA certification. And just so you know, I started in 1992, and the EPA cert didn't start until 1996. So I started before there was this EPA before you had to have a certification to buy refrigerant and use refrigerant. It didn't start until 1996. I started in 1992. And even then, I wasn't even really doing refrigerant like that. And it was just a weird thing that came up. So we were like, they were back then, they were just grandfathering you in. You would just step up, pay $5 or something like that, and they would give you an EPA card back in 96, because all the guys were bitching, whining, and complaining about this EPA card. And they said, oh, this is some horse shit. I have a car. I've been doing this thing since 1954. And now you want me to have some kind of certificate to tell me how to use a refrigerant? That's bull. So all these guys were bitching and moaning, and they said, okay, we will grandfather you in. But I never did go and do it. And if you have at least one person in your business, one person in your organization that has an EPA card, your entire business can then purchase refrigerant. And so that's just how we've done it with my father and I since 1996. But remember, pointing at my temple. Remember, I said I started in 1992. That is the reason why I say these things. Burger Sleuth said, Jesus is the truth. Hell is real. We all sin. He died on the cross to pay for our sins. Was buried and rose again on the third day. Put your faith in him alone to save you. Trust in what he did for you. Now, I wonder, Burger Sleuth, I wonder what his background is in theology. Because I was talking with my app, and fun fact, I was educated from preschool on up, from preschool to like second grade through the Lutheran education. And then I was educated by the BVM nuns from second grade on up to high school. When I graduated, I went to a Dominican order, the Dominican Order of Friars. I went to a high school where we had friars, like Friar Tuck. That's who educated me. That's who taught me Spanish and French, that's who taught me economics, were monks. And then on top of that, I went to a religious university, Lewis University, where we also had to do I had to have religion classes. So I've had to study religion my entire life. So Burger Sleuth, I wonder what your religious background is. So I've had to study Jainism. I've had to study Hindu. I've had to study, of course, the Muslim faith. I've studied Shinto and a lot of other religions. So I wonder if Burger Sleuth is still here. Interesting enough. So come one, come all. I'd love to have a ball. Matter of fact, let me show you. Like I was showing you the damn EPA cert from 1996 and how it became, after 96, it became illegal to import them and you had to have this damn certificate. By this time, the technicians working on refrigerant were required to be certified. But I started when I was 15, and there was no such certification back in 1992. Back in 92. So yeah, I go way back. So let me show you a little something. Lewis University. It is a Catholic university. We were of the Christian Brother Order, the same Christian brothers, all right? The same Christian brothers that made the alcohol. Fun fact: before I got there, before I got to campus in '94, there used to be a bar. They still made liquor at the university, and they were just forced to stop that in 1994. Lucky me, lucky freaking me. So they turned the bar into a restaurant on campus. So this is the university I went to, and like I said, we at let me see here. What is the student life? We have there's a chapel. There's a university ministry. There is a chapel on campus. On the university, I did stay on campus. I did learn how to fly planes. That is, and we had monks that lived. Let me see if I can find the monks, faculty and staff. Let me see if I can find the monks. They still live there. Because it is a religious. Let me see if I could find them. There is a full housing ministry, university ministry. There's let me see if I can find it here. There's a full dorm where it is just monks. So yeah, Baptiste de la Salle. Let me see if I can find it. Mass. So yeah, they have mass on campus. I no longer am, I'm non-denominational. I am no longer with all of that. But yes, if you did want to bring up anything of a religious nature, I don't care what denomination it is, I would be well versed in it, talk to it. So to the rest of you, Machaim, and all that other good stuff. Now, you know what? Hold on. I'm sorry. I was spending a little phone time with a supporter of the channel, and it kind of delayed me a little bit. Yeah, I know. It's only two people. Hey, I'm competing with sporting events. I tell, if you ever take the time to watch Learn to Trade, I constantly have to tell them that hey, do not be discouraged this time of the year, people are watching sporting events, things of that nature, which is one of the reasons why I have brought my content to the point where I'm showing you guys the live action stuff. I know that's where the, bread and circus is. That's what everybody wants to see. They want to see me actually working on the stuff. They don't really want the technical information. They don't want to know how to do it, where to get the stuff from. Yo, good evening. And then two, just know, Untamed Kango, that I didn't put out there's no notification that is going out or anything like that. People would much rather catch me live during the day and see something that I'm working on, even though I can't interact with you. This time that I come on Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Time, to talk to you guys is to do the interaction, answer your questions, let you guys bounce this stuff off of me, and then let me tell you, okay, you're on the right track, or ooh, that's not what you want to do. That is what this time is about. With the economy the way it is, I tried to explain it to you guys. Hey, look, every single Starbucks could go out of business. Every single Chipotle could be gone tonight. I still have hotels. I still have grocery stores. I still have churches, universities, nightclubs, all that stuff to do. I haven't lost any clients. But then again, I am a one-man show. I'm not really set up to really take on restaurants and things like that. I'm a specialist. So people call me when there is a problem that nobody else can figure out. People call me when when they can't find any parts to it. I get put in. I get put in the game. It is what it is. We all have our roles to play in each market, and that is mine in this Houston, Texas market. That's the role that I play. But because of that, I am a person that is uniquely situated to tell you guys how to get in the business, where to go to. Yeah, YouTube is playing with my stuff. So it just went down to 1, and then now it's back at 3. YouTube plays these kind of games with me. They don't want me doing this type of thing. They want me doing the shorts. It is what it is. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers, though. I am almost there. Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and do the studio. I am, so now I'm finally up to 900. So I need my 1,000. So I'm finally up there. I am getting 9,000 views on my videos. So that's good. But YouTube they're throttling my stuff, man. They're throttling my stuff. Who the hell had this comment? Throttling my stuff. Oh yeah, see, that's learn a trade. I did say I like that comment though. All right, let me turn on the video. And as always, do not hesitate. Do not wait. Oh yeah, see, my videos cannot be monetized. When I do live, most of my stuff is not going to be monetized. Look at that. Two videos can't be monetized. Video is blocked. That's 4, and was 5. Video is blocked. It is extremely difficult when I go live because the music is all copyright stuff in the background. Yeah. See, when I go live for you guys, it's all going to be 60, 80, 50, 30. But when I go live, it's all going to I go live on that kind of stuff. It's going to be, hold on a second. They shortchanging me. Hold on one second. Yeah, so like this one, 1,600 views. They throttle the hell out of my stuff. It is what it is. Create, go live. Now it's come to my attention that I need to reiterate how this whole thing works. I need to tell you who here in the chat is trying to get started on the commercial side. Throw your hands up. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're trying to get started on the commercial side, if you're looking for a little stability in your life. Let me see you in the chat. And we're gonna make good. My apps, yeah. So let me go on over to give you guys a good example. So Manitowoc Ice, as I usually do, make this big and myself small because the information is what's important, not me. So when you go to Manitowoc, you don't need to look for a particular person. You just need to email tech support. You don't need to talk to these people. You go to warranty. They're going to have an email address for you. There's a contact. You can fill this information out right here. And when it asks for some of that other stuff, you just put NA because they don't have like an email address here. Put your name, your information down there, and then they're going to call you. And you say, hey, look, I'm trying to send you, I want to get signed up for service. I'd like to know who my local distributor is. I'd like for you to pass on my information to the local distributor. And they're going to take the notes and they're going to get that whole thing in motion for you. And that's the same thing with Scotsman. So, they try to make it a little harder for you to get that information. Yo, Brother Frank. Hey, Brother Frank, what has been the latest and greatest? We talked yesterday. I know there's always something going on when you guys start picking up the phone and calling. That's the only time I find out where my failure is in trying to get you guys situated in this business. Because you guys won't pony up and tell me through the chat what the hell my shortcomings are. I have to hear through the phone line that you guys have been out there struggling unnecessarily. The whole purpose of me being here is let me do this. The whole purpose of me being in this damn box on your screen, on your phone, and I figured. So what was it like? What did that person have to tell you about that damn call? The whole purpose of me being in this box and coming to you twice a freaking week and talking to you guys, I'm not gonna beg you for fucking money. It's so that I can tell you about the business, how the business works, where you need to go, how you need to direct everything. You're supposed to cut out all the bullshit. You're supposed to leapfrog all of the years of bullshit, right? Why would you? I've been doing this since 1992. You'll be dead before you repeat my steps. You're long in the tooth. You guys are not 15. I was 15 when I started. You're not 15. You don't have time. This whole exercise is to cut out all that stuff. It's not necessary for you to go through the journey of discovery. It's highly overrated. Trust me. You got to make up lost time. This is the only way you're going to make up lost time. It's the only way. Giving you people that are hungry for servicers, giving you things that customers need. So every single customer that has an ice machine, guess what? They need it cleaned. Most service companies hate to clean ice machines. It takes so long. When you're doing it correctly, it takes a long time. Okay, cool. Yeah, you push it off to somebody that'll be willing to deal with the bull, huh? Oh, damn, this cord is crap. Somebody that was willing to deal with that drama. Trust me, I doubt. Keep in touch with your guy because I'm telling you, man, it's gonna pan out to be some garbage. Do yourself a favor and stay away from food trucks. Food trucks, there's nothing good. Nothing good is gonna come out of you servicing a damn food truck, especially starting off, because it's extremely difficult for you to determine what is the problem. Is it the food truck or is it the damn equipment? Which one is it? Oh, come on. I'm trying to get all this stuff straight. Sorry, I wanted to do a live today from a job, but I have been hacked. Indonesia has hacked my stuff not once but twice, and I only found out it was in Indonesia today. So be careful. You guys want to hear about how I got hacked? You want to hear it? A song about it? Want to hear it? Here you go. I'm trying to get the damn sound together. Just of course it would die. Oh, there we go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, okay.
Greed and panic.
There we go.
Greed and panic.
All right, so I got hacked. I guess you guys don't want to fucking know, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I use Xfinity. I use Comcast Xfinity Mobile. So, okay, Benjamin, I use Xfinity Mobile, and I'm gonna take myself off the screen. I use Xfinity Mobile, and what they do overseas is that they will go into Xfinity. They will tell Xfinity that I would like to cancel my SIM. I would like to disable my SIM. Once they disable the SIM, they then proceed to go into other accounts. And then they also, so once they disable, so they're under the assumption that we live in America like they live over there in Indonesia. They don't realize that I also have other devices. So they cancel my phone service. Then they hacked my Hotmail account, Microsoft Outlook. They hacked my Hotmail. They then proceed to go into other accounts, credit card, bank, and other things. And when they ask for confirmation on who I am, they ask that the confirmation, they select the email confirmation. And so the service codes go to my email, which they have access to, and then they reply to the service with the code that they got out of my email. I was working on that dishwasher today, and okay, good. Here is technical service. I was working on that dishwasher today that some of you might have seen from live, and I actually watched the service the service code to verify it was me. I actually watched it pop up on the email, and I watched it get deleted in real time. I used the Wi-Fi from the hotel, from Hilton. I logged in with the Wi-Fi from the hotel. Using that, I was able to use I have phone over internet protocol. I use internet over phone. I use strictly virtual phone numbers as well as the phone service from my actual phone. So I was able to use my virtual numbers to call Comcast/Xfinity. Here's the email. It's in the chat. You would send your information to Scotsman to get signed up with Scotsman that way. So I was then able to call Xfinity and say, hey, man, I've been hacked. Somebody is in my Xfinity account. They canceled my phone service and they're running around sending so I wouldn't get notifications, right? So my phone is disabled. I don't get notifications. So they run around, and then because all my stuff was tied to my Hotmail, they were contacting all my accounts, asking for codes. The codes to get in were going to my email. They were reading email and then deleting it. So I wasn't aware that they were trying to access USAA. I weren't aware that they were trying to access a firm and all this other stuff. So they were trying to transfer thousands of dollars from using the accounts they had access to request money to come from Chase to go to another account that they had access to, and using that account to try and buy gift cards, using that account to try to send money through Western Union. So Western Union called me today and they were like, hey, did you schedule this transfer? I said, hell no, I didn't schedule no transfer. I've been hacked. They said, all right, cool. Don't say no more. This transaction ain't going to go through. So all day today, I didn't get a chance to go live on anything that I've been working on previously because I've been going in, changing all my email addresses. I've been going in, adding additional, changing all my passwords on every damn account I got, because they were actually able to get into USAA bank account, and that account was connected to Chase and some other stuff. So they were actually able to transfer money from Chase to USAA, and then from USAA they were trying to purchase shit. Oh, bruh. So yeah, that's what I've been tied up with all day. So that's that is Scotsman, Istro America. Oh, so in on another note, so what I've been finding out what some of my shortcomings are with talking to you guys and trying to get you guys a smooth transition from residential to commercial. It is perfectly okay to let people know that all you are going to start with on ice machines is the clean. Every single company is welcoming on that front. None of the companies want to do ice machine cleaning. You are kind of capped at around $1,500, $2,000 on ice machine cleaning. Guys would rather do a repair. They can get a lot more than $2,000 to clean an ice machine. So that is the deal. That is the deal with that. So every single company, you can go to the contact us section. This is Istro. They have a knockoff version of Hoshizaki and a knockoff version of Manitowoc, depending on what it is. The Nugget is a knockoff of Manitowoc, and the Cuber is a knockoff of Hoshizaki. Yeah. So you can always, as you see, they're owned by Middleby now, one of the largest manufacturers out there. Service and support. Let me see if we can get an email. There we go. You see, it took me a little while. You have to persevere. Here is the one for Istro. Now, a common fear. Oh, look at you, man. Yeah, they hacked the hell out that damn Hotmail. So I've since changed. I went with one that's very secure. It is all, I'll just say it like this, it is all, everything is now seamless. So it is what it is. It made me overly reliant on one company, which I did not want to be. But it's all the hacking that happened to me has been a nuisance. Nothing has been detrimental. Nothing has been permanent. It's just they've been rummaging around in systems. And the only way I found out that they were from Indonesia, I initially thought they were India, because they were trying to send stuff through it's like Western Union is called RJA, Raja, and I thought that was India. Come to find out, Western Union told me where they were actually sending money to, and that was my apps. Let me tell you the funny story about this. Where they were actually trying to send the money to was Indonesia. So Xfinity, Comcast does not want to admit that they have been hacked, but there is a network of hackers that are rummaging around in Xfinity / Comcast system, and they are initiating. They're acting as if they're the customer, and they're canceling your phone service, and then so while you're not getting notifications, they're running around and instead of getting text message notifications, they're using your email office and your email system to verify that you are who you are. And then they're hacking into your email, and then they're getting the password and doing it that way. So luckily, everything is real slow. Comcast is really, Citibank is really good with authentication. So they haven't let anything through. Chime was pretty good with that. They killed it. Affirm killed a bunch of stuff. Stuff still got in the system, but they have a very annoying 3-part authentication system. And so during the second part, they kill it, because you have to actually request that you would like to buy something, and then they have to approve it, and then you got to go through authentication process again on that. And the hackers don't know that. They just out and out try to buy stuff without getting it approved first, and Affirm just kills it right then and there. But they do try to get money. Like, they tried to transfer $3,000 from, because my bank account was attached. I had to cancel all my bank accounts. I spent a lot of time getting my bank accounts all interwoven so that from one account I can pull money, and they use that against me and try to pull $3,000 from Chase to another one. And Chase is like, nah, we're going to take a couple days before we let this money go through. And then Affirm, they were trying to use the money from an Affirm debit card to purchase shit. And it was fast. But now I changed all my shit. I changed all my stuff. But anyway, story time. So this is Istro. So like I said, I know you guys have a lot of apprehension with signing up with a lot of companies, but I'm telling you, you need to sign up with as many companies as you possibly can per day. You don't know what is popular in your area. These brands are very territorial. You have thousands of brands, and the distributors in your market can't possibly, it's called cannibalization. They can't possibly carry every single brand. The more brands they carry, the less sales they're going to get. The sales spread out. So if they're selling 1,000 items, instead of them selling 1,000 items from just 2 brands, 500 here, 500 there, then they get their kickback. Now they're selling 10 from this one, 100 in that, 50 on the other. They never quite get high enough sales slow down because people are asking, "Oh, what's the difference between this one and that one?" Well, I see you got Imperial, and then you got a Tosa, then you got Vulcan. What's the difference in them? Why is this one 2,000 and this one is 12,000? What's the difference? And so now, instead of them just selling Royal, selling Imperial, selling American Range, so now they're spending all this time trying to explain that this one uses 504, this one uses 304 stainless steel, this one is a lighter material, this one is heavier, this one has more of a service network than this one. This one's been around for over 110 years. This one's only been around for 12 years. That whole thing. And it is called a paralysis of choice. So it slows everything down. And so instead of your customer ponying up 12,000 and the dealer getting a commission off of $12,000, he now only sells the Atosa for $2,000, and he's only getting the commission off of a $2,000 sale instead of off of a $12,000 sale. So you might not see certain things everywhere, but like I said, the gateway is, and then that reminds me of Tosa. The gateway is ice machines. So I'm still, my wife is sick. I'm just having time, bro. Having a time. Once again, let me see here. All right, now a Tosa is going to be a kind of a pain in the ass. Headquarters. Let me see if we could get a decent number for. See if we can find a decent number. So what a Tosa and quite a few of the Asian manufacturers have done is, okay, good. What they have done is they have decided to divide and conquer, and they tried to provide expediency. They know the Chinese bullshit brands, the Korean bullshit brands, they know that when a customer deals with Imperial, Royal, Vulcan, American Range, they know that there is a slower response time. They know that there is a longer lead time on purchasing items, because the American stuff is just-in-time manufacturing. It's typically, it's just-in-time manufacturing. It's damn near made to order. The Asian stuff has to be made in advance because it has to get shipped across the ocean. So what they do is they flood us with their equipment, and they will put a warehouse in New Jersey, they'll put a warehouse in Florida, they'll put a warehouse in Chicago, they'll put a warehouse in Dallas, they'll put one out in California, they'll put warehouses all over the country. That also helps them to avoid the tariffs and stuff like that in case that ever came up, and they were always prepared for that. Always prepared. And so that is what they've done. And so when you go in here, let's go to resources and locations. All right. So North America. So a Tosa makes a bullshit ass ice machine too. So let's not forget. So when we go in, boom. So we go in, see? So a Tosa has Denver, San Francisco, LA, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, New York, Tampa, right? So they have warehouses. Oh, Ohio. They have warehouses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that's 10. So they've got the 10 all across the United States for expediency. To the one over there in New Jersey. So that serves Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Philly, Pennsylvania. So how they are doing things with a Tosa is by region. So every region is responsible for service calls that are close to them. So like this Southern Texas, so that's Houston. Northern Texas, that's Dallas. So we're not going to even like say Brother Frank. So Brother Frank, he is not going to deal with the same people at Atosa that I am. Let me go ahead and copy and paste this. Let's do that for y'all. Uh-oh. They put me in the mix. Hammer. They put me in the mix. All right. So so there we go. Atosa location. So you can tap on that. That'll give you the list. That'll take you directly to this, and then you'll get the email. What you do then is you email them your information and say, hey, I would like to sign up, or I would like to be a service company of reference to clean your Atosa ice machines, right? You don't want to do the repairs. You just want to take care of the Atosa ice. And they're like, all right, cool. If they want to bring it, hey, if you're open and willing to other stuff, they will damn sure let you know. Hey, look, when we have a training class in Dallas, because that's what they're doing their training. Oh, there it is, ice makers. Hey, is it okay if we let you know we're going to have training in Dallas? So here are the little ice machines. A 230 pounder, 142 pounder, 350. They're nothing major, but they are a little different. They are a little different than regular ice machines. Not wildly different, but they are a little different. They have some issues that come up because of the way that they have it designed. Now, this one right here is going to be a little different than the other one I just showed you. This is going to be more like the and they might actually see, they won't show the interior, but this is like a this is like the one that you guys want to see me do the live on, and see they're telling you, hey, look, man, it's R290, just like that one I was working on. They're using Copeland compressors, heavy duty compressors. They like to brag on that. It is half dice, which is a very similar half dice like Isomatic and Manitowoc uses. Once again, you just want to sign up and you want to clean them. These are going all the way up to 800 pounds. These are not remote. These are air cooled. It's a module. Like I said, this is a different style. I believe I'm not going to say who it's made by, but it's made. I don't think these are actually made by Atosa. I think Atosa is getting them from somebody else. See, these are 404 because they're larger. The 290 isn't quite cutting it for the 800 pounder. And when this is over with, when they are done selling, let me go to another picture. When they are done selling these, because once that limit is done on the 404, because of Trump, they're allowed to sell 404 for probably until the end of his reign. Heil Trump. So when Mein Kampf is gone, more than likely they will reinstitute the ban on the 404, and then they're going to go back to the 290, 717A, and the CO2. Because they killed it. They killed the damn 410A. I bought a jug of 410A, and I still have yet to use the damn thing. When I was going to use it as a brand that will remain nameless, they use 410A on their ice machines, and they were using Samsung compressors. And those compressors were running extremely hot. And when they did burn out, and they burnt out, there were no compressors to put in the system. There were no replacements. It was like a 6-month backlog on compressors. So the time when I was gonna go ahead and replace them, You know, it kind of like came and went. It in the humidity and the weather that we have down here in Houston, it appears that these compressors, the Samsung rotary compressors, only seem to last about. Oh no, they weren't even rotary compressors. The Samsung compressors were lasting about 4 years, 4.5 years. So I don't see another big influx of calls for these things for another 4 years when the replacements shit the bed too. Then I'll need my 410A. I mean, there's still a lot of 410A units out there. A lot of people didn't get rid of them. They waited. Some of them waited the 3-4 months to get a new compressor. And of course, the guys that originally said you need the compressor, we were the bad guys because we didn't give them that damn compressor. So they, of course, went and got somebody else to put them in, which is usually the way. But all right, so here's the TOSA information. So you guys got a TOSA. You got to make sure you contact them. TOSA. Oh, Blue Air. Does Blue Air still make ice machines? Blue Air refrigeration. Let's see if Blue Air still has. Blue Air had a lawsuit with the manufacturer, and they lost that. Yeah, they lost it. Yeah, that's why they don't have the big one. That's why they don't have the big one. They lost it, so they're allowed to do this one. Just so you know, fun fact: these are a pain in the ass to clean. Do not attempt to clean one of these damn machines. I don't care if it's Isomatic. I don't care if it's Hoshizaki. I don't care if it's Blue Air, Istro. Do not attempt to clean one of these bastards. These are nugget machines that sit on the counter. Hospitals use them. Car dealerships use them. Office locations use them. Hospitals, dentists, universities, schools. Do not attempt to clean these mother suckers for no less than $1,500. If you do, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna be like, damn, I should be making more from this. This is bullshit. Because it is. Blue Air makes another under counter. I'm trying to think of who else under counter. I don't know if it's like Manitowoc. It's a R290. I don't know if it's a Manitowoc or not. But whew, the Blue Airs that are still out there that are the low boys. They got low boys that make 150 pounds of ice. They got those are also the bin comes out and jets out towards you, and the ice machine section is in the back. It kind of looks like a hat. So they have those, and then they also have some 300 and 400 pounders. They're no longer allowed to sell the new ones, but they still have put out several thousand of the old ones. Let me get you the contact information. So those machines still need to be cleaned. And yeah, so they are split up into 3 warehouses. The headquarters is also a warehouse. And so once again, you're going to want to contact the one closest to you. Service. There you go. There you go. We want warranty. So you're going to want to email warranty. Let them know that you're interested in providing cleaning. Yeah, but it's gonna be my apps, bruh. My apps. It's gonna be a very nerve-wracking, hectic $1,500. Just make sure to set aside your entire day on the very first one that you do. Make sure that you set aside your entire day on the very first one you do. You're going to have to learn how the drainage is at that particular location. It's never going to be the same from location to location, because these things are, sometimes they're on top of the counter. Sometimes they're in a closet type of deal, a cabinet with slots cut out, or sometimes the side is just an opening big enough for the face to stick out. and then the drain is underneath the bottom, and it needs to snake somewhere to the closest drain. It doesn't have to be directly underneath it, so sometimes it goes here and there and somewhere else, wherever is convenient for them. Usually people have this fantasy about where they want the machine at, and they don't realize that you have to get rid of the ice that melts. You have to get rid of the water from the dispenser when it shoots down. And so that needs to go to a drain somewhere, and they have to run it to a drain. So you got that. You're going to have to disconnect that ice machine from the drain because you have to move it. You're going to have to take off a side. You're going to have to take off the top. You have to clean the inside. Those are all nuggets, by the way. Anytime you see a machine like that, those are going to be nuggets. Whether it is a Manitowoc, whether it is a Hoshizaki, whether it is an Isomatic, whether it is a Scotsman, Istro, a Blue Air, it is going to be a nugget. Those sensors, whichever design they go with, unless it's a paddle, those sensors for the ice and for the water, they get crust on them from splattered water. That usually takes out the sensors. They'll set the damn thing in the direct path of sunlight. The intelligence that they have, you would think that they would know how destructive sunlight is. But no, sunlight be damned. They put the fucking thing facing the morning sun. Isn't that nice? Yeah, this is nice. And in that freaking beam of light that took 8 minutes to get to us from that nuclear factory out there in the universe, burns through the infrared device that machine uses to detect when you have your cup in front of it, and it says, okay, there's a cup in front of me, they want ice. The other one, oh, there's a cup in front of me, they want water. Well, these geniuses, and believe it or not, schools do this more than most, and they will put that sucker in the direct path of sunlight, and then you have to go ahead and change that sensor. You can clean it if you want to, but your ass is going to be right back. You're going to be right back there, and you're going to be looking like a damn fool because they have no understanding. Don't ever think that you're going to save people money. You end up causing yourself more drama trying to save people money. They don't understand that you tried to save them money by cleaning the sensor. Just replace the damn sensor. I don't care if the sensor is $300, $500. You tell them if the sensor is $800, $900. You tell them the shipping is what the shipping is, $100 for the shipping, whatever the fuck it is. And your labor is $800. Your service call is $200-$300. Your mileage is so-and-so. And you keep it pushing. You go with God, my child. If they go with it, they go with it. Do not engage in desperation. Calculate your numbers. Stick with your numbers. Put it out there and keep it moving. If they say it's too much, say fuck off and you keep it moving. The reason why people don't want you in the business is because people that are not trained properly want to give a discount. They want to discount their way to fame and fortune. Nobody's able to discount yourself in a skilled trade. You don't. You only discount yourself into bankruptcy. You discount yourself out of a viable business. So you stick with your number, you give them your number, you keep it moving. Always be closing. Contact every single max size. Contact every single ice machine manufacturer. Market to people that own ice machines and keep it moving. See, so you go with Max Ice. They make ice machines. I've given you guys information for the Legacy Group. Send them your information. There's the one for technical service. Send them your information. Hey, yo, the price is the price. Hold on one second. Oh, damn, where did it go? The price is the price, man.
You're not rich. Blame yourself. You don't think?
Yeah, Untaken Kango is right. On the commercial side, that's if you even get to go back. Remember, on the commercial side, time is money. On the commercial side, if the customer loses faith in you, they'll just move on to another company. If I gave this example earlier today, if someone is selling snow cones, guess what? Their main generator for income is the snow cone machine. If you get over there and you're half-assing it on the damn snow cone machine, people pull up for a fucking snow cone and the customer can't give them a snow cone. People are going to be pissed. And guess what? They're taking it out on the people that work at the snow cone establishment. Do you think the snow cone people are going to call you back? No. That's the thing most of these guys don't tell you. They might run around and they act like they're, Captain America. Now, I'm not talking about you got heavy hitters out there to do videos. And guys I've been watching for a long time. But I'm talking about there are guys out there, they don't realize they work for major companies and they don't realize that they just didn't call you guys back. They just didn't call your company back. Something was wrong. And they went with somebody else, right? Something was wrong, and they went with somebody else. So there's nothing worse in this business than to go to a location that you've already been for and doesn't work. You say, "Oh, how's that thing doing?" And you see that somebody else has worked on it. That is a gut punch. That is a gut punch. I'm not saying I'm super tech or nothing like that. If I see something like that, I'm like, is this a new owner or something? Like, were they using somebody else? A good example of that, hey, man, not that they use somebody else, but that brewery, we're going to call the factory. We don't need Mike fucking Reed. We're going to call the factory, and they're going to give us somebody. Fuck him. They call the factory. They say, hey, call this company, Reed Appliance. The guy was new. He didn't know who the fuck Reed Appliance is. He called out. I come out and I'm like, hey, what's happening? I'm back. So, it's funny. It's funny like that. This business is a trip. So and I tell this to people, you're only as good as your last repair. And fun fact, on that damn warmer, it took me 2 weeks to get my money. 2 weeks. To get my money from those SOBs. They were so pissed that it was me. The owners don't like me. But they never can keep the same management. They have new managers every 3-4 months. And the managers don't know, hey, Mike Reed don't get along with the owners. The owners say I'm too expensive. It is what it is. But if they want it done right, they got to call me. It is what it is. But all right, so we got Max Ice. You guys seen me do a live on this one. You email them, you tell them you're interested in providing cleaning services. Interested in providing cleaning services and taking simple calls in your market. Now you're not going to get much money from these people. You're not. It is what it is. Most of these brands, as you saw from the live, the bolt came off of the locking washer came off of the fan blade for the circulation motor. For the cooling motor, condenser motor. So There was nothing wrong with the board. There was nothing wrong with the motor. There was nothing wrong with the compressor. There was nothing wrong with the refrigerant. There was nothing wrong with the float switch. It was just the fact that the blade was no longer attached to the motor, so it was no longer allowed to cool the motor down within operating temperature, and it was cutting off on high temp, cutting off on high head. Pause. So here are their units. Fun fact, Max Ice OEM supplies to others. OEM supplies to other brands. They're using a synergy type system. They own a lot of other ice machine brands as well. You won't know it. So, but these machines, just like all the rest, if they are not clean, they will not function. Now, we are coming up on, well, not coming up. We are at an hour and 3 minutes. This is your last opportunity for the evening to get your questions answered. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care what you think about it. Whatever question, whatever notion you might have, you need to put it in the chat. We are winding down. All right. We are winding down. When I'm live and I'm working on stuff, that's not the time to ask a question. This is the time to ask the question. This is the time to revisit all that kind of stuff. I can actually play the video. The live streams that I've done when I'm working out during the day, I can actually play that on these lives. It is marked private. I'm still at 900 something subscribers. Let me see what we got here. I am currently at, my wife's gonna say I'm loud. I'm currently at 903 subscribers. I need to get to 1,000. And once I get to 1,000, then I will receive, even if it is 10 cents a video, I'll at least get something from the videos, and it won't be from you. It'll be from advertisers and that kind of stuff. Hold on 1 second. So right now, what the? Oh yeah, setup is complete. All that stuff is set. I haven't gone through the membership because I was doing the membership previously. Yeah, I know you had some limited beliefs, but I don't feel as if I have enough time to dedicate to doing the membership videos like I feel they should be done. I'm just focusing on getting the additional 97 people so that we can get this damn ball rolling. See, earn with ads. I don't have any. Uh-oh. I don't have anything just yet. Make sure you guys can see. Uh-oh, my bad. Tariff rumblings. Okay. That actually helps. Tariff issues actually help. Right. So tariff rumblings will raise prices on parts and equipment, so more repairs on the horizon. That is so very true. As you might know, a lot of this stuff is pretty interchangeable. There are only, there are relatively few things that have proprietary parts to them. So you will be okay. You will be okay. Trust me, you'll be okay. Most of these, ever since Trump was christened, all right, ever since he was ordained, companies had stockpiled parts. So there are still quite a bit of parts that are piled up in different corners all over, as you see with what I've shown you earlier, with some of these people having 10 warehouses all over the place. There's parts in each one of those warehouses. Each location is stocked with enough to repair what they have. And just remember this. there's going to be even more calls because if they call a company and that company can't get them the part, then they're going to call you. Right? So that's why you do not promise, and I tell everyone the same thing, do not promise these people that you're going to come out and fix their shit. Just let people know that you're going to come out and find out what's wrong with them. Do not promise them that when you come out, you're going to fix their equipment. You're only there, you're only hired to find out what's wrong with it. You're only there to find out what the parts are needed, where the parts are coming from. You don't have to tell them that. Cost of the job, that is your job, is to find out what's wrong with it. Can it be fixed, or do they need another one? And that type of thing. If the parts are not available, that is your job to tell them the parts are not available. You would be so surprised that the companies that they're calling out, they don't know to reach out to the factory. They don't know to reach out to the original manufacturer and say, hey, do you have any parts? These manufacturers also get damaged equipment, things that have been shipping damage, things that in the final mile, when the company got the delivery service got to the restaurant and they went to go put it on the lift gate, it fell off the lift gate. When they brought it to the restaurant, they tried to get it through the door, they damaged it. And the customer's like, oh, I don't want it. I paid $12,000. I don't want it. And they had to bring it back. And they would then, the parts are worth more than the whole. All right. So my app says that you are excited to see what happens tomorrow, since you send into emails to Hoshizaki, Scotsman, Isomatic, Istro, and Max Ice. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Nothing is going to happen tomorrow, brother. It doesn't happen that quick. Where the hell's my stuff?
Well, if you listen, I'm going to tell you, right?
Nothing is going to happen, brother. It doesn't happen that soon.
You can't keep getting away with it.
You can contact 1,000 manufacturers. You might only hear back from 10. This is all depending upon your market. What sells in your market? If you are contacting a company that doesn't have any sales in that market, I explained to this earlier. I explained to you this kind of stuff earlier in this broadcast. The dealers that are selling this equipment, usually they don't want to sell this equipment. They only want to sell a couple of different brands. You know, most of these dealers, they only want to sell like 5 or 6 brands. They want to sell like Hobart, right? With selling Hobart, you get all your tabletop stuff, food processors, blenders, mixers. You get your ovens. You get dishwashers with the Hobart dishwasher. You get everything. Hobart is an easy sell if the customer has the money for it. Most corporate accounts, most restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, they are already automatically set up to approve the purchase of Hobart equipment. It's an easy sell because Hobart has 5,000 service technicians to take care of their Baxter ovens, to take care of Charleston refrigerators and freezers, to take care of Somat, to take care of all the stuff that they make. So they would rather sell Hobart. And then Hobart is going to strong arm them to say, hey, look, man, you're selling our mixers, our planetary mixers, our potato peelers, our food processors. We don't want you selling Samick. We don't want you selling Prep All by Atosa. And the dealer might fight for it. So they say, okay, we're not going to sell General. We're not going to sell Globe. We're not going to sell all this other stuff. But what we'll do, we'll sell Hobart stuff, which is going to be the expensive high dollar shit that's designed to last a lifetime. And then we're going to sell the trash, which is the Atosa, the Prep-All. So give us that. Customers that are never going to be able to afford Hobart equipment, we need to do something for them. And then Hobart is going to say, yeah, okay, because they would never pony up to buy our stuff anyway. Our stuff is out of their range, and you get what you pay for, you know. So then half the Atosa stuff never makes that a warranty. And after, oh God, some of the Atosa stuff, man, you go out and you go, okay, all right, Atosa, it needs this, it needs that, and you go, we don't have those parts. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? We'll pay you for going out. We'll take it from there. And they have to send the customer a new one. You know, let me show you what the hell these parts cost. We have to send the customer a new one or whatever. But that's got nothing to do with you. And Atosa has had so much of a problem with that. They don't even offer. I don't even think they even offer the Prep-All line. And like I said, some of that stuff is none of your concern. I mean, what you would like to happen is you would like to have that customer for the long term, for the long haul. So this is a Prep-All. See, so they buy Atosa. This is a dealer I'm trying to show you. See, it's just a 1 year. It's just a 1 year. And because it's tabletop stuff, they'll get so much flour in the contactors and stuff like that, and the stuff won't work anymore. And they might not have more stuff for them. So these these slicers, $2,000. But Hobart makes slicers. And Hobart slicers are very desired slicers. Here's another cheaper Prep-All. So it all depends. So some of these slicers are meant for slicing cheese. Some are meant for slicing meat. And some can actually slice into bone and things like that. But it is what it is. So here is a meat grinder, and it's a 1,200. And so when you get to some of these slicers, and you might need a motor or some of that stuff, I have run into that situation where I needed motors for the Prep-All slicer, and then Atosa was like, "Shit, we don't have none. We don't have no motors." Like, oh, okay. And so they will just go ahead and give the customer another one. Yeah, but like I told you, brother, you got to get into the mode of letting go of even talking or thinking about residential. It's two different animals. Two different animals. That's like going to a zoo. You know you're going to a zoo, and then you see the lions, you see the pumas, you see the tigers, and then you start referencing greyhounds. You start referencing sheepdogs. Bruh, let it go. It's not helping you. It's not helping you. See, on the residential side, they're gonna have to wait that 18 months or whatever, and they'll have no problem with compensation, all that. On the commercial side, they'll just ship them another unit. It is what it is. Or the dealer will actually get a credit. The dealer will go ahead and then bring them another one. So let me show you General. And like I said, it's only a year warranty, brother. It's only a year warranty. Only a year. So what is the likelihood that stuff is going to go out a year and a month? What's the likelihood that stuff is going to go out a year and 2 months? It is very high. Then that becomes a COD. It is in writing. They don't give allowances like residential does. insurance. Where they go, oh yeah, I know it's a year and a month, but we'll cover it anyway. No. You can't keep getting away with it. So that is a very common thing that happens on the commercial side where they say, yep, you've had it a year and a month. You've had it a year and a day. They'd be like, wait, well, we only been open for, 9 months, 10 months. They say, hey, look, man, this is the ship date. This is when we sold it to the distributor. And we sold it to the distributor. I've had that happen. We sold this to the distributor a year and a month ago. And you never did register it. So bye-bye.
You know something I don't know? Booby, I probably know a lot you don't.
Resources, shop products, so mixers. So here's general. And like I said, so these mixers are 3,000, 1,800, 1,200. Let me see if it shows us what the support. So you guys can see. Yeah, you guys got to learn to separate the two things. Yeah, you going to the zoo talking about the lions and tigers, and then oh yeah, look at that lion. Yeah, they're just like that Shih Tzu that Keisha got. Let it go, brother. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Please let it go. The Shih Tzu has got nothing to do. Shih Tzu's got nothing to do with that. Oh, bastards. All right. So that once again, their warranty is a year as well. The warranty is 90 days. And it is extremely difficult for me to get that to show because they want you to actually put in the model and serial number. And then once you put in the model and serial number, it's going to populate. Then it'll populate and tell you. And see, they even want to know where you purchased it. It'll populate with if you have a warranty or not. Oh, let me see if I got one. Oh, Lordy. Let me see here. Let's see. Howard McCrae. Damn it. It's coming up with all kind of other stuff. I wanted one of these general piece of equipment to pop up. It's not shit. Oh, well. But you get what I'm saying. So they're going off of this date of purchase and serial number. And then they're going to come back with this, and the customer, where the hell is it at? Damn, a lot of my stuff got moved. Oh, no. Oh, no.
He done fucked up.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So you got general, you got, what ice machine companies am I missing? I gave you Isomatic. Let's see what schools they got. Nah, nothing's coming up. There's Sufesa. Let me see if they've updated. I guess I'll run through. There's Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, we talked about Pensacola, Florida. So Isomatic hasn't updated. No training classes. I will do another video, a standalone video with the training classes for this week. I'll put some stuff out on Instagram. At least, yeah, see, nothing. All the way to March 2026, they haven't updated any of that stuff. Hold on a second. We will do service, maybe? See, I am not even. Everybody that was on here has revolted. Yeah, there's nobody. There's two guys now. And these two weren't even on here last year. We've all jumped ship. Everybody's jumped ship. Screw you guys. I'm going home. That's what we said.
Computer says nah.
Say, hey man, we need to do a warranty call.
Computer says nah.
All right, so warranty, well, tech support. You can send your stuff over there. Isomatic is extremely difficult to deal with when it comes to communication. Yeah, I know, but the guys don't like the virtual my apps. The guys don't like the virtual school. Everybody's got virtual training. All these other companies got virtual training, but they don't want to do it. They want some hands-on. They want to sit in some seats and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what Hoshinazaki. Hoshinazaki. And then I had already talked about everything that's going on in Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky. So the virtual classes is supposed to be going on at least once a month. But you don't look, man, the virtual stuff, everything that they're trying to tell you is, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Ice machines. Where the hell's the service? Flaker. Hold on 1 second. Oh, there it is. Manuals and print on demand. Hold on 1 second. Hoshizaki has the videos already on demand. They already have, there's the training, my bad. Training schedule, virtual training, email. Where the hell's the videos? Okay, so there they go. My bad. They were all the way down here. The videos are already here, man. The videos are already there. All you have to do is look. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but most manufacturers have as few as one person responsible for tech support, and most teeter-totter on 3. I'm struggling to find somebody. I'm struggling to think of a manufacturer that has 4 on the ice machine side. I'm really struggling to think of somebody that has 4. Most have as many as 3. I'm not going to say any names because they got upset with me for saying names and whatever. So they made a big deal about how many people they had for tech support, and they started putting salespeople on tech support, all because I said that there were only 2 guys that answered tech support, because they were 2 guys. There were 2 guys. They only had 2 guys. For years, they only had 2 guys. For years. And so now they try to say, yo, Poison, what's happening? The Kofol, trichinosis, whatever. What's up? If you had to choose a state to start over for new commercial appliance repair business, which state would you choose to have the most profit and biggest growth? Ooh, the Kofol. That is a trick bag question. That's a trick bag. Oh, you know what? I think I'm missing my damn. That's a trick bag, bruh.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Okay. Oh. Ooh. Shit, man. I thought I was gonna be getting off this thing in a minute. Okay. Now, all right, Brother Frank, I'm gonna surprise you with this. So you're going to have your dense cities. I would have much rather go back to Chicago and stay there. And I had this conversation with one of the manufacturers, and here's the problem. Your New Yorks, your Chicago, your Philly, your Miami, your even New Orleans, bro. Even New Orleans. This is your problem. This is your problem with oh God. This is your problem with Chicago, New York, New Jersey tolls. Houston has tolls too. You can avoid them, but our tolls are like Chicago's tolls back 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Our tolls are like $1. Chicago tolls were $1 back in the 90s, bro. When they first built them, they were $1. New York, New Jersey, them fucking tolls, some of those tolls are $20 across a fucking bridge. The calls are there. The second thing is the traffic. So I had to leave Chicago because of the traffic. The calls, I got so sick and tired of the customers calling me saying, where you at? When you gonna be here? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? And I'm like, I'm 3 lights away, but I've been at the same light for 3 cycles. The light turned green, turned yellow, and then turned red, and I'm still sitting there. Then it turns green, it turns yellow, it turns red. Guess what? I only moved up 2 cars. Then, it turns green. Get up there, I get all the way to the line, and it turns red. It turns red. And now you can't run through it because cars are slowly inching through the intersection. If you were to dare try, this ain't Florida. If you try to push through, you're going to be stuck in the middle of the street, and then they can't get through, you can't get through, you fuck everything up. So you got to wait. If you're in Chicago, Philly, New York, New Jersey, you guys understand what I'm talking about. You get out there in the middle of the fucking street and you're gonna fuck everything up, and then the other guy's not gonna want to move, and then other people, you're gonna be stuck in the middle of the street for like 2-3 lights. You know, cops have to go ahead and direct traffic. So fucked, man. The New York tolls, no thanks. Add $40 in tolls to a service call plus parking. Yeah, that's the. And so Chicago, even if you can find parking, you know, you're talking about $50 just to park. Houston, I'm talking about $1. Talking about $1.10 if there is a parking meter there. Talking about $1 something. If I do have to park at a parking lot, it's $20, and that's like downtown Houston. That's why nobody else is really doing it. The other guys, they refuse to do it unless it's like a corporate account. The city that you pick is going to be determined by the equipment that you work on. So I had a conversation with my apps, and I mean, if I can move to Baton Rouge if I'm dealing with rationale. So if I pony up the $26,000 in parts and the extra person and all that, and they say, okay, we're going to give you all of Baton Rouge. That actually would be enough to have all of Baton Rouge in the surrounding area, because every single dispatch would go to me. It wouldn't go to somebody else unless it's like a hospital or church or something like that, and it's their in-house staff and they wanted to do it. And they've been trained. They sent them back to Chicago and they did the training. I would get all of those calls. That's the Denny, all the Denny's, the hotels, the universities, the grammar schools and stuff like that. That then would be worth it if I am Rationale, because Rationale is very protective of their technicians. For the companies that they bring on board, you make a significant financial investment, and they're going to watch out. That's why you guys are like, oh, we're going to do Rationale. I'm like, you fucking fool. You're not going to work on Rationale. All right. You don't have the access codes. They're not going to give you the access codes. They're not going to send you the calls. They're barely going to talk to you on tech support. Only reason why they talk to me on tech support, because I had to tell them who I'm doing the shit for. I'm like, hey man, I'm doing this for this person and that person. I got to drop names like a motherfucker, and then they will help me. I got to, because they know it'll be a fucking shitstorm if they don't help me. It's gonna be problems. But that only works on a few jobs. That's not gonna work on every single job, and that's only because the customer called me out there or the dealer called me out there. it's not that I just come across a happenstance and decide to work on it or advertise to work on it. That ain't gonna work. So if you have the backing of a major manufacturer that's been around for a while, um, you can go to whatever city you feel comfortable with. Like even right now, and people have been telling me, and I wasn't believing them, but like Vegas, I know everything that's going on with Vegas right now is fucked up. But that's the strip. The surrounding, when I go visit family and friends in Vegas, the surrounding area has blossomed. So many chain restaurants have popped up, things like that. You This is a business, so you got to look at it from the standpoint of how much is each technician going to be able to bring in. You got to look at this from the standpoint of work to support at least 2 or 3 technicians, and then that will determine if that city is going to be a good city for you, because you're going to need staff, you're going to need a location, and all that kind of stuff. New York, Chicago, Philly, Miami, those are all going to be expensive locations to have a facility, because you have to receive the actual items. Like Rationale, you actually have to receive the ovens. You have to inspect the ovens. You actually have to test the ovens, and then you take them out. Then you bring them out. XLT is the same thing. XLT pizza ovens, you actually receive the pizza oven. You uncrate it, you check it out, and then, you got to sign up and say, yeah, everything's cool. We tested the damn thing. Then you recrate the motherfucker, and then you bring it to the location. You bring it to the location, and then you have to set it up and install it on location. So if you have an account, once you have become proficient enough, you can move to whatever city you would want to go to. Those accounts are going to make sure. When I said, when I was making my choices, I was given 5 cities, and I wasn't too happy with the 2 in Florida. I wasn't going to Dallas, and I had family in Houston, and I knew Houston was a growing city, so I went with Houston. And I fought, and I had to prove myself, and I became trusted by a lot of factories. I became trusted by quite a few of the appliance dealers in Houston. And using that provided me with enough work where I don't advertise, and I have consistent calls coming in, consistent COD. I don't warranty calls are a deficit. Warranty calls are a negative, because they take away. You're never going to be as profitable doing warranty as you are doing COD, but you need the warranty calls for preservation, right? To keep your customer. You need the warranty call to keep the dealer happy, and in return, the dealer is going to send you CODs. Hey man, this guy's taking care of everything. They just turn that shit on over to you. That call comes in, and like, I don't want to hear. Hey man, call this guy Mike. You call him. He does all our stuff for him. He's so good. He takes care of everything when it's brand new. When this is who the people that make the equipment trust to fix the equipment. You call this guy. Once you get that brand approval, once you get that seal of approval from the dealer that sold the equipment and from the factory, bruh, you write your own ticket. You charge them whatever. It is whatever. So they know that there's nowhere else to go. They know there is nowhere else to go. So look at states getting representation in the census: Texas, Florida. Well, Florida's a shit show. Alabama's a shit show. Texas is good all around. New York has got the tolls. Connecticut has got the traffic. Jersey's got the tolls. Jersey's got the traffic. the parking. So that's the problem you have with those. The problem you have with New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Chicago, Miami is you often have to have a secondary person with every service call. So you had to have a secondary person to drop off the main technician closest to the location, and then they got to drive away from there. Maybe they go drive somewhere else that's close, or drive, then they got to go drive around because it costs more money to park the vehicle than it does to just pay a person minimum wage to drive that motherfucker around. Then, if you're paying somebody to drive it around, if you need something, you're in a high rise, you're working on a restaurant, you're working on a bar on the 34th floor, and you need a part, you need a tool, you call the driver, say, hey, I'm coming down, I need something out the truck, come back. Then you bring your ass all the way down on the service elevator, you got to wait on that fucker, you come all the way down, but you're charging the customer for it regardless. You're charging the customer for it. So the Decoful, and in the Decoful, you're in Canada, man. So that's a like for me, I would choose Toronto. I'm from Chicago, and Toronto for me is good. I can't really do it anymore because I've got bones that were broken. My wife has bones that were broken, so neither one of us could actually live in Toronto, not in the wintertime. My daughter wants to go to Chicago, but it is what it is, man. That is all going to depend on what you want to do. I don't speak on California because I don't know California. I can speak on Texas, Missouri. I could speak on Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, New York, states, Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. I already said Virginia. I'm missing a couple of states. But I don't know anything about California. I don't know anything about Washington State. I don't know. I haven't been over there on the West Coast like that. I've been to Vegas. I've been to Nevada. Like I said earlier, I've been to Nevada, but I don't have any knowledge about that area, that neck of the woods, man. So yes, you are able to charge the prices you can charge in the US here in Canada. Of course, you live in Canada, you don't live in a third world country, Decoful. I don't know where you're getting that from. You live in Canada, brother. But you don't live in Mozambique. You're not in Argentina where the money isn't worth nothing. What the hell is that? The Decoful is something else, boy. All right, so my app says, what's my view of Kansas City? Okay. Kansas City is a much smaller, much smaller market. Believe it or not, the people there have money. I used to work for the Federal Aviation Administration. If you know anything about the FAA, you know that we all had to go to Kansas City, Oklahoma, and then that's just on the other side of Dallas. They got money. I used to go to Mickey Mantle's when we used to have breaks. They got money. It is some straight up other side of the railroad tracks type shit over there. But yeah, Kansas. I used to when I graduated from Lewis University with a bachelor's degree in aviation. I had a job offer for from not Kimberly Clark, not Tesla, but Cessna. So I was going to go live over there and work for a Cessna. I was like, changed my mind. It's like,
You got to have vision.
All right, so the Kofel says the refrigeration companies charge 125 an hour to 150. Now, what you're missing with that is the mileage. What you're missing with that is they are charging the mileage for the vehicle, then from whatever spot the technician leaves to whatever time he gets to the location. Then the same goes with the hours that the driver is driving. Right. And if it's a 2-man, each guy is charged. They don't care. Well, the other thing that you're not taking into consideration is when I say they, I mean the large service companies, they want the jobs to get done. So if you go out and you're working on a walk-in and you need an evaporator fan motor, you're going to take your happy ass to the distributor, to the parts house. And you're going to go on over there. You're going to buy the part and you're going to go back and you're going to install the part. Remember, I told you guys they do it 2 jobs a day. So guess what? The entire time that the service technician is diagnosing, you're billing the customer. The entire time they're doing it, they're billing the customer. And then they are marking up those parts astronomically. They're charging mileage again on the drive to the parts house. While you're sitting there waiting in line, like I said, they're charging the customer. All that stuff, they're charging the customer the whole time. And a lot of them have a 4-hour minimum. So 4 hours, so that gives that service technician 8 billable hours. And that the 125 to 150 bucks, that is just the small part of it. They're charging the fees, administration fee. There's a whole laundry list of fees that these guys charge. I've never worked for corporate America, but they have a lot of fees, a lot of other fees that they're charging. That little service call fee is that little labor thing is the minimum, because remember, it's so $150 an hour, smack 4 hours on top of that 150. So 150 times 4. Then the part, then the mileage, the drive time to get there, all that kind of stuff. They're charging all of that stuff. Then they're charging for special tools and all this other bullshit. They're charging for, remember, they're not just charging for the actual evaporator fan motor. They're charging for the wires. They're charging for the wire nuts. They're charging for the tape. They're charging for the damn invoice that they're giving the customer. They're charging them for the invoice. And then, like I said, they're giving them an administration fee. So they're not billing like you're billing. You're not billing like you are billing. I talked to my apps, and yeah, he sees what his neighbors are doing. He just so happened to know a couple of guys that work for corporate America, and he sees, how they're living, and they're living quite nice. They're living quite nice. They have toys, and they are home. They are home. I mean, my apps, are your neighbors home right now? Those service guys, are they home right now? Let's see what he got to say. Let's see what he's got. And Decoful, let me go ahead and do this. I always love doing this. It's Decoful. I love doing this. It's Decoful. Oh man, I hope you can leave. My apps, you gone or you still here? The Decoful organochloride, mitricide, pesticide, Decoful. is an organic structurally related to DDT. Primarily used in agriculture to control mites on various crops like cotton, fruits, and vegetables. Woo! The Koful. You out there, you powerful, man. Koful. I'll be like, man, what the hell? I swear to you, brother, every single time I see your name, yeah. So my app says yes, they're home, because actually they were home when I talked to you earlier when I was getting my daughter food an hour and 47 minutes ago. The couple told me that two of his neighbors that they don't work for the same service companies, but they work for two different major service companies that I've mentioned, and they were already home. Oh, you gonna name them? You go out them? Yeah, he got it. My app said, "I want some of that. I want some of that Indian money. I want some of that Harley money. I want some of that Ducati money. I'll even take some of that Honda money. Let me get some of that Red Wing money." Oh, all right. So yeah, the Kofo, and you're not even in the United States. I don't even know why you worried about cities. But my apps, just to talk about Kansas City again. Kansas City is cool. You have a lot of top-notch restaurants, and believe it or not, you got a lot of top-notch restaurants in Kansas City. Kansas City top restaurants. I know they're probably going to ask me which Kansas City. Ooh. Oh well. 30 best restaurants and Indian restaurants. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I didn't get a chance. Let me see if they talk about how much they're charging. How we made this list. Green Dirt Farm. I think I know they're like all organic type deal. Believe it or not, this is gonna sound crazy. Believe it or not, I think I saw them on the restaurant on food magazine on damn. I think I saw them on one of the Food Network, maybe on Food Network. Let me see here. Let me see if they do. Sarah Hoffman wants to raise your kids. Yeah. So I think they like featured this chick on one of the restaurant shows. Yeah. Let me see if they even see while working as a doctor at the University of Washington. Right? These are the type of people that open up restaurants in Kansas City. She won artisan cheese. So yeah, not cheap stuff. But yeah, picture man. Yeah, so Texas. All right. So the reason why Texas is cool is because Texas, you have less traffic than LA. You have less traffic than New York. You have less traffic than Chicago. I know people are going to say there's traffic in Austin. I know people are going to say there's traffic in Houston. And I know people are going to say, well, they drive crazy in Dallas. Yes, but it is nothing. It is, I drive around. Let me do this. I drive around Houston, traffic, with a smile on my face. Because it is, everybody else is road raging, but I am so thankful that I am not in traffic in Chicago. Traffic in Chicago, the morning is a mess. From 6 a.m. to 9:55 a.m., you ain't moving. You ain't going nowhere. Then, after the last little brats have to report into school, traffic opens up from 10 until like 12, and then you're back in traffic again. You got this lunchtime rush. Traffic is fucked. Then it opens up again. Chicago, it opens up again shortly after lunch until 2:25, 2:26. Boom! It's bumper to bumper. Again, the little bastards are getting out of school. Oh, let me tell you about Arizona. Let me tell you about that motherfucker. Prescott, Arizona. Let me tell you about that motherfucker. Not just Prescott, but yeah. So I have been to Arizona. All right, so Arizona is okay. You got. Remember, I used to do Salad and Go. They're out of Arizona. I used to do a couple of chains that are out of Arizona. Arizona has chains. Man, I already covered that. Yeah, awful traffic. Arizona is kind of dominated. Oh, what's the name is out there? Windy City. He's a Sefesa member. He's out there in Arizona. He's got his XLT Empire out there. Arizona, in all fairness, like I said, unless you're a heavy hitter, Arizona is going to be extremely difficult for you to break into. You don't have a lot of undesirable mom and pop restaurants to get started with. You don't have a lot of that. It is a lot of uppity restaurants over there in Phoenix. A lot of chain in Phoenix, Arizona, and Prescott, and all the Tilted Kilts and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of chains where they already have their account set up. It would be extremely difficult. 20 years ago, it was wide open. Now, it's kind of locked down. What the hell's his name? Josh Zolan. So Josh Zolan, to his credit, he got that motherfucker on lock. He did some shit I didn't approve of, like sending some dirty motherfuckers over here to Houston and have them trying to poach employees and shit. But I can say that Josh out there, him and his father, they did their thug thizzle. They got that bitch on lock. Yeah, that was gonna be rough. That was gonna be rough. I gotta give them their due. If you ever see Josh Zolan's office, it is a thing to be desired. He got his guitars and shit, his multi-million-dollar office and shit. He got his shit tight. And I need that Breaking Bad. He got his shit tight. I will give him that. He got his shit tight. You ain't breaking into that motherfucking market. That's for certain. That's for sure. That's for sure. I give him his just dues. Yeah, so New York, you got people that are very loyal to the service companies that their father had been dealing with, their grandfather had been dealing with. So you got that whole thing. So between corporate America and you still have some mom and pops running around that joint. New York, I don't know how any upstart really, outside of taking care of like Kevin Tate would learn a trade, outside of taking care of convenience stores and gas stations and bodegas, I don't see you doing much else in that joint unless you are specifically taking care of a chain. Like if you are taking care of all the Luckin Coffees, if they're going to open up like 19 or 20 Luckin Coffees and you're going to be taking care of them, you're going to be taking care of Luckin Coffee and Gongcha and some other shit. Maybe. But the cost of living and the cost of operating in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey is so freaking high. I just, ugh. And if you got family, then yeah, sure. You got to do what you got to do, especially if you got to hire them. If you got family you need to hire and employ and pay for, wives, you can make them in dispatch, sisters, you can make them in dispatch or accounting. That's what Rich Maliki does. His sister takes care of the dispatching and probably some of the books. And she married one of the guys, which was something I'd have to do for my daughter. She married one of the guys, and he runs one of their operations. So her husband runs the 24/7 appliance that they bought like 2 years ago. So they bought out a guy in Long Island. And so now the sister and her husband are mainly running that, and Rich Maliki is still running and sharing the service arm in New York with him, between him and his sister. So yes, if you're going to do that and it's going to be family and you already live there, you're not moving there, you already live there and you're already established, you can carve out a niche doing something, but it's not going to be an easy road. It is not going to be an easy road, and you damn sure are not going to be able to do it without the backing of a brand. You got to do it using somebody. Somebody has to feed you. Somebody's got to give you referrals. Somebody got to give you some lead-ins. So you'll see me go in and do some warranty stuff, and then I go in and take over the customer because they might not have had anybody. They're too small of a fish for the other companies to even bother with. They're like, shit. When you get so big, a person that only has one restaurant, 2 restaurant, or even 3 restaurant isn't worth a large company dealing with because they have too much variety in their equipment. When you're dealing with a larger company, they have more uniform equipment. Maybe they all have Imperial at every single location. So now you're only having to carry Imperial parts. You're only having to deal with Imperial parts. Maybe every location, they only have Hoshizaki. So now you can carry Hoshizaki parts and you don't have to worry about, okay, so this is the Istro over here, is a Scotsman, here's a Hoshizaki, is a Manitowoc. No, there's more of a uniform equipment situation that you're dealing with. So these are all things, once again, this all deals with business. So I'm glad you guys are asking these kind of questions, though. These are the business questions that I need you guys to try to get out so you can understand that it's a lot more on this side than just turning screws. It's a lot more than just turning screws and swapping out parts. And with that, we're at the 2-hour mark. Hopefully I have answered your questions.
If I throw a dog a bone, I don't want to know if it tastes good or not.
Hopefully I've answered all of you. And you are satisfied with what I've given you so far. I am live. I'm Mike Reed. I'm live on Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. I go live throughout the day, showing you what I'm working on. And these broadcasts that I do are meant to give you the answers on the equipment that I'm working on, what I found, who do you need to contact in order to get set up with those accounts, where do you get parts, the whole 9, all of that good stuff. This is where you can ask questions. Thank you, brother. This is where you ask questions until your heart just explodes with joy. All right. And with that, I'm going to tell you guys to always be closing.
Let's talk about something important. Are they all here?
All but one.
Well, I'm going anyway. Let's talk about something. And I'm here on a mission of mercy. I got your attention now? Good. A, B, C. A, always, B, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to find my. There it is. I want to thank my contributors as usual. And thank you, my apps. I do appreciate you. Hold on. I do have something from my apps. Damn. I'm sorry, but thank you, my apps. I do appreciate you. You're contributing to the channel. Let's see if I got something. But like I said before, pick something and start with that. Don't be afraid to sign up with as many manufacturers as possible. Don't worry about the numbers. Once you learn the equipment, you can readjust your numbers. It's not a big deal. It is done all the time. If they don't want to adjust the numbers, then part ways. It is what it is. But get started, people. Please get started. Hold on one second. Let me show you learn the truth.
Be relentless. That's it. I'm done.
We are same, but different, but still same. Ha ha.